So I got this Bobcat. I'm having a problem with the drive. The forward on the left side is not working, so we're gonna tear it apart and see if we can fix it up. I know this isn't the normal for what I do, but I don't know. Maybe you guys find it interesting. I'm not sure.
So at this point, the old clutch doesn't actually look that bad, but I'm replacing it anyways, because I did buy it, and that's the only thing I can think of that's wrong with it at this point. At this point, I should have clued in that something else was broken here. It's my arm was still locking forward and not moving freely like it should.
Well, this sucker turns out that it is, like, this one's still good, but this one drive clutch, I don't even know what you call this thing, but it's actually the, this engages the clutch. This is like a mechanical setup. This sucker is actually like totally destroyed and messed up. So I found one on eBay. I'm gonna try to get a hold of the guy, see if he can do some shipping and see if he has a few extra bits. So that's where we're at with this thing. If I can get parts, then I'm gonna, yeah, try to put her back together. I thought it was just a clutch, but turns out it's actually way more broken with it than it is. So it turns out the drive was like buggered. There's like a bazillion parts sitting in the trans. This is the reverse drive. You can see I have this sleeve, but there's supposed to be a bearing on there, and I am totally missing that. And if you take a better look, you can see where the bearing's supposed to be. There's actually a little bit of this meat that's out of there. Well, I don't have that here. It's totally missing. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the sprocket off. I'm going to weld this up. I'm going to put in the lathe and actually try to machine this. And then hopefully I can find another bearing and a sleeve and the other bits I need to fix that thing. Well, it's ugly because I'm a terrible machinist, but it'll do the job that it needs to do. So that sits on there. Then there goes the bearing. Then inside this doodad, this is the thing that's broken on the Bobcat. Why my drive on the one side doesn't work. So I'll have to get the nut off off the Bobcat. This thing goes on. This thrust washer or whatever it is goes on there. It goes to that. So that's how the whole kit caboodle goes together. So we got this done. Now I'm gonna have to get that out of the Bobcat, that pin that's screwed up, and get this one on there. So this nut was kind of broken off, so I had to weld a nut on it. So I could get it out. Of course it has to be a special nut. Well, let's figure a way to reuse that. So that sucker is just buggered to no end. So this is the shaft that I replaced. It's kind of gnarled bunk. This pin itself was totally hammered. It's supposed to have like a spline count in there. So I just had to undo the nut, and then there's an oiler in there that I removed. You can kind of see by the clean spot back there. Maybe not. But it's actually just back here. They just unbolt, shaft pops out, new shaft goes in, and now we're just putting all the bits back together. See if it moves. Good as done. Huh. We are all back together, good to go. I still have to do a seal on the pump in the back, but I'm still waiting on those parts, but it's totally usable with that other than it leaks some oil. There's a seal, and the Lovejoy coupler is kind of worn out in the back. So yeah, this is the culprit. This is what it ended up being. This is supposed to be like a gear spline, so it goes on here and pushes and engages the clutch. I thought it was the clutch that was bad, but it turned out it was this thing was all mutilated and all these parts were just mashed into there. So every time I would jam onto this nut, I kind of just mashed all this junk together and it would actually work. But well, the needle bearings, everything was kind of binding into this shaft, so when I would actually use it, it would actually function. But in the end, I think everything kind of crumbled to nothing. So what would happen is it would this would just push on this and then eventually just lock the clutch, and then the controls would actually fall forward and lock forward, which was not ideal by far. So anyways, found one of these on eBay. It's a cool dude, gave me the extra bits that I needed, the needle bearings and the stuff. So seem to be 100% in the steering department again now. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. So yeah, I don't know, not what I normally work on, but it's mechanical, so I guess that counts. So yeah, well, thanks you guys for watching. If you found it useful, great. If not, well, thanks for watching either way. We'll catch you on the next one.